Ben Simmons is not known as a loud NBA player that gets in people's faces and tries to start fights. However, on October 30th of 2019, he ended up in this position, choking out Karl-Anthony Towns on the floor. The thing is, what led up to Simmons choking Towns had nothing to do with a confrontation between those two players. It actually involved Joel Embiid versus Karl-Anthony Towns. The beef between Joel Embiid and Karl-Anthony Towns had been going on for quite a while up to October of 2019, trading insults online and the basketball court. It kind of makes sense that there would be a big rivalry between the pair. Both Embiid and Towns are kind of mouthy and loud players, and considering that they're both recognized as top big men in the league, it's no surprise that there would be a competitive spirit between the two. During the game of the choking incident, there was no indication of what was about to go down. There was a regular foul between Embiid and Towns in the first quarter, followed by a pretty minor foul between the pair in the third quarter as well. Then, with about 6 minutes left in the third quarter, the Sixers were up by 20 points. At this point, Ben Simmons was guarded by Towns, and as the ball was passed to Simmons, Embiid decided to help guard Towns with a double team, forcing a turnover. After the turnover, as the Sixers were running down to score some fast break points, Embiid and Towns got tangled up. The tangle between the players led to Embiid pushing Towns, which then started a shoving match between them. By watching the video, it then seems like Embiid grabbed Towns, switching the fight between a shoving match to a wrestling match. Some people think that Towns tried to punch Embiid at this point, but to me, it doesn't look like it. Anyways, Towns then also grabbed Embiid, and they wrestled each other to the floor, with players and coaches jumping in to pull players off of each other. Ben Simmons, who is a pretty similar size to Towns, was pulling him away from the fight, and Jeff Teague, a player that's like a foot shorter than Embiid, began pulling him away from the fight as well. While the two were separated and Embiid was already pulled away, Towns was trying to stand up. Now at this point, maybe Towns was going to attack Embiid, or maybe he was just trying to walk away from the situation. We really don't know, but no matter what the intentions were, Ben Simmons decided that he would use his weight to get Karl-Anthony Towns on his stomach, and Simmons then put Towns in a headlock and proceeded to start choking him out. With Simmons' arm around his neck, Towns seemed to tap out like a UFC fighter would, signaling that the fight was over. Simmons was then separated from Towns, and all the fighting stopped. At this point, Embiid didn't even seem aware of what had just occurred between the two, as he was laughing at the bench and dapping up his teammate. On the other hand, Towns seemed extremely upset, as he had to be escorted back to his bench. After the fight, Embiid and Towns each got ejected from the game, and as Embiid was leaving, he was met with cheers and MVP chants from Sixers fans. After the game, Embiid decided to post on his Instagram with the caption, "Great team win. I was raised around Lions and a cat pulled on me tonight. LMAO Jimmy Butler. I miss being part of the third stringers. I got his mom giving middle fingers. That's some serious real estate. Hashtag fight night. Hashtag I ain't no B-word." Karl-Anthony Towns then decided to make a post of his own saying, quote, "I ain't no B-word, raised around Lions." And then he put a bunch of cap emojis and clown emojis. And he ended it off with saying hashtag B-word talk. Within this Instagram post, Towns decided to use the photo of Embiid crying after losing Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Raptors in 2019. Seeing this, Embiid decided to reply directly to Karl-Anthony Towns' post, commenting, "Imagine talking after a 20-point loss. You hate to see it. Go ahead using that pic of me caring about losing the second round of the playoffs. Oh wait, you've never been there. You don't know what it's like." Embiid continued, and he finished off this comment by saying, "I ain't gonna put your business out, but I got the facts about you. Don't get it twisted, I own you." Embiid then thought that Towns deleted his comment, so he decided to post the comment on his story, with the caption saying, "Boy has my comment either deleted or hidden." And he added a bunch of laughing emojis as well. Finally, later that night at nearly 3 a.m., Embiid tweeted, "I'm done talking trash." With Embiid announcing that he was done talking trash, it marked the end of this incident between the two players. At the end of the day, as expected, Embiid and Towns were suspended for 2 games each for the fight. Coming as more of a surprise, Simmons did not get any punishment for choking Towns, as he was seen as a peacemaker in the situation. Do you think Embiid and Towns should have been suspended longer? Should Ben Simmons have been suspended? Let me know what you think in the comments section, and remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel to show your support. Thanks for watching.